more into the syllabus. What is Pali is my focus. So, starting from the first slide. How do I? Oh, it's in there. I told you a little bit about Tipitaka. Can you all see the screen? So this is a collection of Pali Sutras. Sutra, if you have never heard that word, Sutra refers to teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha taught you this sutra in so and so place, that sutra in so and so place. And aside from the sutras, you find the commentaries written, especially after the 5th century. But commentaries are not originally the teachings of the Buddha. Different scholar monks added commentaries to the material that they found later that needed further explanation. They are exegetical texts, and they have a little bit of boring analysis that they when they had too much time, they sat there and started writing about these and showing their knowledge about these. What happened really is that this monk named Buddha Ghosha from India, he had both exposure to Theravada and Mahayana monks and the scripture. He brought that knowledge and got the permission from monks in Sri Lanka in the 5th century, and those monks did not allow him to translate the Sinhala material into Pali. But this monk's purpose was to internationalize it, like to make it international, put it into Pali, so monks in India and monks in Sri Lanka both can understand this. But they had to test his knowledge first. So he wrote a book called Visuddhi Magga, Path of Purification. When that was written, the heavenly beings, deities, came and stole the book. He wrote it again, and once again it was stolen by heavenly beings. And another time, he wrote it again in a matter of very short time. And when the third one was written, the 3 books reappeared, and when they compared all those books were very similar in content, no difference. Monks in Sri Lanka were impressed by his skill and granted him the permission to, put everything written in Sinhalese into Pali. So when you find the Buddhist canon, you find some Sinhalese, similar patterns in Sinhalese language and in Pali. Why is it called Pali though? Any tips on that?
It's written down in a text.
Since it's written down in a text, let me add a little bit into that. When they write it down, so they had palm leaves. So in palm leaves, they write not leaving any gaps, so making it a line. And then, because palm leaves, it's difficult to make palm leaves. They had to there was a little bit of process. I will show you some pictures of palm leaves in the slides. And when they, let me write you, Pali does not have a scripture like Sanskrit does, right? It's called Deva Nagari, divine something, like something that came from heaven. But for Pali, if you are an English speaker learning Pali, you use the Roman alphabet. If you are a Sinhala speaker, you use Sinhalese writings. If you are in Burma, you use Burmese. Depending on where you live, you use whatever the scripture that you know to write. So this is how it works. Like I will write, this is in Sinhala. But when you are an English speaker, I will write the same thing as this. Buddho. Buddho. It's about Buddha. I forgot my Burmese, but you see, depending on what language you use, there's no particular scripture to learn, but there is an alphabet. Like I will show you the alphabet a little bit later. So that lining, like when they write the next word, they write it next to this. Bhagava. So you see, these are two words, but to save space, they write them close to each other. So this is one line. The line is called Peli in Sinhalese. Peli may have helped the word Pali to origin. Peli makes Pali. So when the way they wrote it down, so originally the language was called Magadha. Magadha language, because this is where it was more used. Magadha county or country, where the Buddha mostly lived after his enlightenment, and he used Magadhi for his spoken language, and it was also called an international language at that time. People in many parts of India, they used the language spoken in Magadha. So this was, because it belongs to Magadha, they called the language as Magadhi. Magadhi. So you see this emphasis here, Magadhi. To get that sound, I will put, how will we say this, like a bar on top of I, Magadhi. This is how the language was called at that time. But Magadhi, when it came to Sri Lanka, may have known as Pali. But there are different interpretations for this. There's no conclusive definition as to why Pali is called Pali, but that is just one interpretation. What time is it? Is it time to get a break?
9:30.
Yeah, please get a break. Then we'll come back to this.
Please rise.
What do we do?
You make hot dog.
Break.
How long's the break?